He wasn't born into global superstardom, yet there was always something unmistakable about him. A mind wired for music, a tone grounded in raw honesty, and a presence that didn't demand attention but commanded it anyway. SUGA didn't simply debut as another idol in a crowded industry. He built an identity of his own, transforming underground ambition into one of the most respected creative forces in modern music. You're watching CelebrityFandom. If you're into deep dives on star journeys, lifestyles, and the real stories behind the spotlight, hit subscribe now and stay tuned for more. SUGA was born as Min Yoongi on March 9, 1993, in Daegu, South Korea. Long before global tours and chart records, he was a teenager immersed in music production, writing lyrics and composing beats in a small studio environment. Music wasn't just passion. It was survival, expression, and identity. Coming from a modest background, he worked part-time jobs to support his craft, often balancing financial struggle with relentless creative drive. His early journey was far from easy. Before debut, he faced resistance from family, financial hardship, and even a serious shoulder injury from an accident while working a delivery job. Yet none of it shifted his focus. In 2010, he joined Big Hit Entertainment as a trainee, not just as a performer, but as a producer determined to shape his own sound. The training years were intense. Unlike many idols, SUGA's foundation was rooted in underground hip-hop, which gave him a distinct artistic perspective. He honed his rap delivery, production skills, and songwriting, preparing for a debut that would eventually redefine global music dynamics. In 2013, he debuted as a lead rapper and producer of BTS. What began as a relatively unknown group quickly evolved into a worldwide phenomenon. SUGA's sharp lyricism and introspective writing became core elements of BTS's identity, tackling themes like mental health, societal pressure, ambition, and self-worth. As BTS expanded globally, breaking records, topping charts, and selling out stadiums, SUGA remained a central creative force behind the scenes. He contributed extensively to songwriting and production, shaping the group's evolving sound across multiple albums. His ability to blend raw emotion with technical precision set him apart not only as an idol, but as a musician in the purest sense. Beyond group success, he explored a more personal narrative through his alter ego Agust D. His solo mixtapes, including Agust D and D2, revealed a darker, more unfiltered side of his artistry. Tracks like Daechwita combine traditional Korean elements with modern hip-hop, showcasing both cultural depth and experimental vision. In 2023, he released his official solo album D-Day, completing a trilogy that reflected his personal and artistic evolution. The project received global acclaim, further proving his ability to stand independently while maintaining authenticity. Offstage, SUGA's personality contrasts sharply with typical celebrity expectations. Known for his reserved and introspective nature, he values privacy, creative control, and meaningful work over constant visibility. His lifestyle reflects discipline, long studio hours, and a focus on production rather than performance alone. Financially, his success extends far beyond idol activities. With earnings from global tours, album production credits, songwriting royalties, and brand collaborations, his net worth reflects a career built on both artistry and strategy. As part of BTS, one of the highest-earning music groups in the world, his financial standing continues to grow steadily. What sets SUGA apart is authenticity. In an industry often driven by image, he prioritizes truth. His lyrics openly address depression, anxiety, and personal struggle, creating a connection with listeners that goes beyond entertainment. He doesn't just perform music, he communicates through it. As of 2026, SUGA stands not only as a global K-pop star, but as a producer, songwriter, and artist whose influence reaches far beyond genre boundaries. His journey from a small studio in Daegu to international stages reflects resilience, honesty, and an unwavering commitment to music. That wraps up today's feature. If you enjoyed this content, like the video and subscribe to CelebrityFandom for more in-depth celebrity stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. He wasn't born into global fame, yet there was always something unforgettable about him. A rare blend of deep vocal tone, artistic sensitivity, and magnetic presence that made people pause and look twice. Kim Taehyung didn't just debut as a member of BTS. He shaped his own artistic world, transforming quiet curiosity and creative instinct into one of the most distinctive careers in modern pop culture. You're watching CelebrityFandom. If you're into deep dives on star journeys, lifestyles, and the real stories behind the spotlight, hit subscribe now and stay tuned for more. Kim Taehyung was born on December 30th, 1995, in Daegu, South Korea, and spent much of his childhood in the countryside of Gyeocheon. Long before global tours and Fashion Week appearances, he grew up in a modest environment, developing a love for music through saxophone lessons and a fascination with visual art and photography. He originally accompanied a friend to an audition for Big Hit Entertainment, but it was Taehyung who ended up being scouted, a turning point that quietly changed his life. In 2013, he debuted as V, one of the vocalists of BTS. From the beginning, his baritone voice stood out in an industry often dominated by higher tones. Songs like Singularity and Stigma highlighted his unique color and emotional control, establishing him as a performer capable of conveying vulnerability and intensity with subtle precision. As BTS rose from a small company group to a global phenomenon, V's presence became central to their visual and artistic identity. Beyond music, Taehyung explored acting early in his career, appearing in the historical drama Warang in 2016. Though his primary focus remained music, the experience revealed his interest in character-driven storytelling. Over time, he refined a personal aesthetic that blended vintage influences, jazz inspiration, and cinematic emotion. Rather than staying within one musical style, V embraced experimentation. His solo tracks, including Sweet Night, Winter Bear, and later his debut solo album Layover, leaned into soulful R&B and soft jazz tones. The album showcased restraint and emotional depth rather than loud production, reflecting his introspective personality. It topped charts globally and proved his ability to command attention independently of the group. V's approach to artistry reflects intentional individuality. He gravitates toward projects that align with his taste rather than trends, often drawing inspiration from classic films, old-school photography, and timeless fashion. This careful curation has helped him build a brand that feels authentic rather than manufactured. Offstage, his public image blends mystery with warmth. Known for his love of art exhibitions, classic music, and photography, he presents himself as thoughtful and creatively driven. At the same time, luxury fashion houses recognize his global impact. As a brand ambassador for major international labels, he has become a regular at Paris Fashion Week, where his appearances generate worldwide media attention. His lifestyle reflects balance between global celebrity and private reflection. While millions follow his updates across social platforms, he maintains boundaries around his personal life. He rarely addresses rumors directly, choosing instead to let his work and public appearances speak for him. Financially, Kim Taehyung stands among the most influential Korean artists of his generation. His estimated net worth reflects earnings from BTS World Tours, album sales, solo projects, and high-profile brand endorsements. More importantly, he has built cultural influence that extends beyond music into fashion and visual art. What truly sets V apart is his artistic evolution. From a quiet trainee with an unconventional voice to a globally recognized singer and style icon, he continues to refine his identity with each era. He embraces mood, atmosphere, and emotion, prioritizing artistic depth over noise. As of 2026, Kim Taehyung stands not only as a member of BTS, but as a solo artist and cultural figure defined by individuality and creative intention. His journey reflects growth, self-awareness, and the courage to remain different in an industry driven by trends. That wraps up today's feature. If you enjoyed this content, like the video and subscribe to CelebrityFandom for more in-depth celebrity stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.